Last time in our previous lecture, we were looking at depreciation. Yeah, we said a lot about depreciation. We said that depreciation means reduction in value. So, and we notice objects, items do reduce in value most times in the market. It does happen. And usually these reductions in values in the business world are communicated in percentages as far as business is concerned. So we needed to understand how it works, how it's calculated, when those values are given, how it's calculated. So we looked at the concept, and that concept, I gave you a question to go home and try. I believe you tried that.
That's it.
Who responded? Is it Boahima or Cassandra? Or perhaps
Grace.
Grace. Grace, right? So the others, what happened? Cassandra, Boahima, Prince, Bediako, and the others. Hannah, I believe you tried that. Okay, I don't want to use this whole lecture discussing that, so I'll move on. But because of my new student justice, I would try and touch on a few things because today we'll introduce some formulas. So yeah, in our previous lecture, we mentioned that normally, if the cost of an item has dropped, we wouldn't tell you that it has dropped by a certain amount, 50 cedis. It has dropped by 500 cedis. What we will normally tell you is that it has dropped by this percent. Yeah, that's what we normally do. By this percent. We'll communicate the values in percentage. So we'll tell you that the cost of the the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max has this year has dropped by 20%. Yeah, or has depreciated by 20%. Wouldn't tell you that the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max this year has dropped by 300 Ghana cedis or 400 Ghana cedis. No, we would rather like to communicate the value in percent. Yeah. Now, listen to these expressions. They mean the same thing. Has depreciated, dropped by, reduced by. They mean the same thing. And I want you to know that if if you are told that the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max has dropped this year by 400 Ghana cedis per this expression, it doesn't mean the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max this year is 400 Ghana cedis. We said it has dropped by 400 Ghana cedis. It doesn't mean it's 400 Ghana cedis this year. It means that whatever the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max was then when it was released, okay, that's a marked price, a cost price, the original price. Whatever the price of iPhone 14 Pro Max was, let's say, for instance, the original cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max then was 24,000 Ghana cedis. Okay. If we are saying it has dropped by 400 Ghana cedis, then that means that the new price of iPhone 14 Pro Max is the 24,000 minus it has dropped by how much? So minus 400 Ghana cedis, and it will give you a certain value. What is that, Frank? What is that?
That is 23,600.
Yeah. So there's a cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay? So if you go to the examination hall and they tell you that it has depreciated, okay, by a certain amount, it doesn't mean the cost of the item, let's say it has depreciated by it has depreciated by 300 Ghana cedis. It doesn't mean the cost of an item is 300 Ghana cedis. You have to know the cost of the item. Then you subtract 300 Ghana cedis from that. Keep this in mind. I always tell you that math is not rocket science. It's the basic things we do in our daily life. Okay, that is what is calculated. That's the same principles we use here. Good. In the same vein, in the same vein, we started saying or discussing that now the original cost of every item, okay, is as far as depreciation is concerned, or well, any other content in percentages is concerned, okay, it's taken as 100%. The original cost of every item is 100%. It's 100%. So if if you are told that the price of the item reduced by a certain percent. Now we are in business math, percentages, okay. In depreciation, we tell that, oh, it reduced by this 100, we will not tell you that, but we'll give you a rate, a value in percent. So we tell that, oh, it reduced by 3%. Yeah. And you're expected to like investigate how much it's reduced by. Okay. Yeah, expected to produce the 400, the respective numerical value, which is 400 Ghana cedis. Know that if you are communicating in percentage, the original cost of every item is regarded as what? 100%. So since the original cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max is what? 24,000. Okay? It's regarded as 100%. All right? Now, how much it's reduced by is taken as 3%. So if you want to know the exact depreciation value, it's going to be at 100% minus what? 3%. That's going to be 97%. So this is the depreciation rate you can use for the calculation. Okay? So that's what we come to do today. Right. So I will actually make a practical example for us to understand this before we can delve into what today we have to do. I will need someone to read the assignment I gave you, then we use that to practice. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Look, I'm not gonna write the question here. Oh, I should do that. Okay, my dear, you go on. Let's write it for the purpose of the recording.
Akwesi bought a radio for 650 Ghana cedis.
Just a moment. For 650 Ghana cedis, go on.
After 1 year, the cost depreciated by 25%.
After 1 year, the cost depreciated.
By 25%.
Okay, go on.
What was the value of the radio after 1 year?
What was the value
Of the radio
of the radio
after 1 year.
after 1 year? Thank you so much. Your voice was very audible enough. So can we begin? Can we begin? So
Yeah.
yeah, we're going to use simple ratio and proportion. Later, I'll teach you formulas. You can choose to just imbibe them in mind. It's fine. If you can't recall the formulas, you just apply this principle because that's what the formulas were generated from. Ouch. Oops. Yeah. Solution. Let's read. Akwesi bought a radio for 650 Ghana cedis. But after 1 year, the cost depreciated by 25%. What is the value of the radio after 1 year? That means we want to look at the new value, right? I told you that you were able to tell the actual cost of the radio then per the narration, the question's narration. Okay, so per this narration, we cannot tell that because you can see that depreciation is all about after a period of time, the price of the item dropping, right? As per this narration, what can we say the cost of the radio was then? What was the actual cost of the radio? Justice, what was the actual cost of the radio?
650 Ghana cedis.
650 Ghana cedis. Okay, right. So good. So you guys should pay attention. So we are just going to use ratio and proportion to go away. Right. So here I said the original cost of every item, which is 650 Ghana cedis, is equal to, since you want us to be talking in percentage, we assign each item to its percentage value, all right? So the original cost of every item, okay, its percentage value is 100%. All right. Now, the depreciated value, I'm not talking about rate. If you talk about rate, rate is anything in percent, okay? I'm not talking about rate. I'm talking about the depreciated value, or in other words, the new price. When it depreciates, the new price or new value, okay? So the depreciated value, so now they said after 1 year, the cost depreciated by 25%. That means it have not actually told you the cost after 1 year, right? So let's get a technical word for that. So we can write new value, because new value, because that money would have come here. Since I wrote Ghana cedis here, okay, below it should be anything in Ghana cedis, okay? Because it's percent, anything below should be what? Any value in percent. Do you get a picture? So the new value will be equal to, so new value will be equal to, you told it depreciated by 25%. So if you want to know the actual depreciation rate for the new value, what happens? It's all about what? Good. Taking it from what? 100. So that's going to be 100% minus what? 25 what percent. And I've explained this. I said, if iPhone 14 Pro Max was 24,000 then, and we tell you that the price has reduced by 400 Ghana cedis. It doesn't mean the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max is 400 Ghana cedis now. Okay, it means the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max is 24,000. I mean, the cost of iPhone 14 Pro Max now is 24,000 minus 400 Ghana cedis. And you all agree with me. You all agree with me. If you don't agree with me, let me ask you a question to challenge your thinking. Last time I created a scenario that, let's say I have a wallet in the classroom. In the wallet, I had 500 Ghana cedis in a wallet. Then I had a meeting in the office, so I had to dash out address whatever concern was there. And when I left, and just a moment, guys. And when I left and came back, the money in my wallet has dropped. It has reduced. And you worry, I said, so what is going on? What is going on? how much money is left in your wallet, and I tell you that the money in my wallet has reduced by 100 Ghana cedis. How much is in my wallet? It doesn't mean it's 100 Ghana cedis in my wallet. How much is in my wallet? It's 400 Ghana cedis in my wallet. So that's a concept we are applying here. If you are saying the cost depreciated by 25%, then to know the depreciated value, then the depreciated value is actually 100 minus 25. Okay. Okay, now let's repeat the same thing again. Okay, because so here we have 650 equals 100%. Okay, new value 100 minus 25 is what? 75%. So the actual depreciated value is what? 75 what percent. Can I move on? Now at this juncture, you cross multiply, but I prefer you do it with the variable on the left hand side. So new value will be equal to, sorry, cross multiply. So to be new value, right? Cross multiply. So it will be new value times what? The top, which is 100%, right? Then you initiate an equal sign. This is a scored proportion. Okay. So it's equal to what? 650 times 75. Or the other way around, 75% times 650 anyhow. Then at this juncture, what do? You would have to what? Divide by whatever that is attached to the variable, but repeat the step. Someone is calling me, I guess. You divide by what? Whatever that is attached to new value. Yes?
Someone have joined and
I think she's muted.
She's struggling? Yeah, she's here. Oh, Pearl. Pearl, you have a question?
like there was a sound coming from her background. I wanted her to mute herself.
I can mute her here, don't worry. Okay, she did that. Okay. So that would be all of why it was coming in your machine.
Yes, please.
Oh, sorry. So new value times 100% all over. What is that?
100%.
100%, yeah. All over 100%. So 100% cancels 100%. So what is that? So new value equals. So this one cancels that, right? I really don't like you to do this in your work. Just ignore it since we know. Now here, percent cancel percent. I also don't like you doing this. I would like it if you ignore. So it's going to be 650 times what? 75 all over 100. What is that?
487.5.
487.5. So you see, to be honest, this step, this whole concept of this whole concept of original value being equal to 100%, new value will be 100% minus the depreciation rate. You can use it to solve any kind of question. What if you are wondering what are the possible kind of questions one may be asked? So here is the thing. Here is the thing. You see this question, they gave you the depreciation rate, right? They gave you the depreciation rate and they are like, what is the value of the radio? So we want to know the depreciating value. Okay, want to know the value. We said it reduced by 25%. What is that 25%? Want to know the monetary, the actual value in money terms. Okay, so there's a question you may be faced. But do you know that sometimes they will tell you that, oh, Akwesi bought a radio for 650 Ghana cedis. After 1 year, the cost of the radio is 450. Listen to me. Akwesi bought a radio for 650 Ghana cedis. After 1 year, the cost of the radio is 450 Ghana cedis. What has happened to the cost of the radio? Then it was 650. After 1 year, the cost is 450. What has happened? Anthony?
Depreciation.
It has depreciated. The price has dropped. Okay, then the question will be, how much in percentage did it drop? Have you seen how I've changed the question? How much in percentage has a new price or dropped? In other words, what it means is that what is the depreciation rate? That means we want you to calculate the percent. Guys, are you listening to me? Yeah, so that one too is simple. You can start by, I'm going to introduce a formula where you can questions like this, you choose which one you like, but I just want you to know that there's a mastermind behind the formula. So questions like that, you ask yourself, what is the original cost of the radio? I said he bought it for 650, right? And I said original cost is equal to 100%. And I said after 1 year, the cost of the radio now is what? 450 Ghana cedis. And the question I'm asking is, how much in percentage has the price of the radio reduced? Or in other words, what is the depreciation? Okay, rate. What is the depreciation rate? Or most questions will just say, what is the depreciation? We are asking you for the rate. So, well, after 1 year, the cost of the radio is 450. So 450, what is the depreciation rate? To investigate the depreciation rate, it's all about taking that depreciation rate from 100. And the depreciation rate, you do not know. So you assign X to that. Okay? Then at this juncture, what do? You cross multiply. Have you seen it? So it's going to be what? 450, right? Mind you, X percent too. The depreciation rate is always in percent. So 450 times what? 100 what? Percent, isn't it? Cross multiply equals, here you have to be very careful. It will be equal to 650, multiplying this whole group. Don't forget. So multiplying 100% minus what? X what? Percent. I hope I'm not speeding up, Cassandra.
No.
Wahima
No.
Prince.
No, sir.
Okay. Bediako.
No, sir.
Anthony, I believe I'm not speeding up.
No, sir.
Grace.
No, sir.
Evelyn. Evelyn, am I? Evelyn. How is she fitting in? I mean, she came in recently. I believe you've been able to make some friends. Oh, she's the reserve type, just like I am. Has she been able to make friends?
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah. Here we are one family. The others that are not in school, they'll be coming and along the line. You're trying to associate, okay? But to do so wisely. Frank, I hope I'm not speeding.
No, sir.
Oh, Hannah too. Hannah, how is it?
Say it's cool.
All right. Justice, today is your first time. I believe you get in the concept. Is Justice there or he has to disappear? Is he there?
I'm here.
That's fine. Yeah, so guys, I got you a new friend. So you make sure you make him feel very comfortable. Okay? Right. Yep. So yeah, you have to be careful. 650 is multiplying the whole group. Yep. So now, mind you, your interest is about the X over there. Because that's the variable there. That's the depreciation rate. It will come out when you are doing things right. Let's just continue. So yeah. You have 450 times 100. Okay, percent equals here, expand the bracket. Okay, so you're gonna have 650 times 100. What is that?
6,500.
6,500. See, yeah, let's be careful. Pay attention. I'm doing some algebraic conclusions here, and it should make sense to you. Include the percent.
65,000.
Okay, my brother, use a proper calculator. Okay, yes. 650 times x. See, include the percent too. You see, I've included all the units. Ghana cedis percent. Pay attention. If you want to ignore the percent, there is a way to go about that. Because 100% in itself is 100 over what? 100, isn't it? So that would have been 650 times this. 650 times. I'm sure that's what the guy did. Or, yeah, I'm sure that's what he did. Yeah. See, I'm sure that's what he did. Check this for me. I'm coming. Let's all do six. I'm coming. There's a way to go about that. I'm sure that's what he did to arrive at that figure. Again, 650 times 100%. Okay, and 100%, if you want to ignore the percent, you divide by 100. Or even at that, it's going to give you 650. Yeah, and he was saying 6,005. I'm sorry, by the way. Right, yeah. So if you want to do away with the percent, then you land at 650 Ghana cedis without the percent unit. But I don't want it like that. You can do it like that. You get the same answer though. Yeah. So 650, yeah, 6,500. No, 65,000% minus 6. So here is going to be Ghana cedis, right? 650 what? X in percent. Okay. Then at this juncture, mind you, is what includes the X you are concerned about. It's what is holding the X you are concerned about, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah. Let's group like things. Just a moment. Let me do this thing well. Yeah, percent. Yeah, I'm trying to see what I can do here. Okay. Okay, so let's solve this part. I'm just looking for the easier way. Yeah. So let's solve this part. Okay. 450 times 100%. What is that? Yeah. What is because here I think it's going to be 450. 100% in itself is 100 over. You can put it on a calculator. 100%, 100 over 100. It cancels out, right? So one time. So that's going to be 450 times 1, which is what 450. Confirm from your calculators for me. Okay. 450 times 100% is 450. Are you doing it? Not forgetting the Ghana cedis. It's equal to 65000% minus 650 x in percent. Okay. Then now what are we looking for? X. Okay. So you know what we're going to do? Because I want to do away with the negatives, let's throw this towards the other side. Towards the other side. Okay. So it's negative. So if I bring it at the 450 area, it's going to be 650x in percent. Okay. Because, well, maintain the 65,000 right there. And transfer the 450 to the other side. Okay, that'll be minus what, 450 Ghana cedis, isn't it? Yep. Now, you see, it's looking a bit more easier. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, you're gonna have 650. Don't worry, you can do it any way you're feeling comfortable, but don't forget the unit. It's equal to, yes, let's verify 65,000% also. Yes, so let's verify that. I can do it here for you. That's going to be 65,000. Yep. All over 100, isn't it? Zeros cancel. So I think it's going to be 6,005, right? In Ghana cedis more minus 450.
650.
So this is 650.
No.
65,000 divided by 100.
No, 6,005. Oh. This is 5,000. The zeros are 3.
It's 650.
Oh, then it's 650. Yeah. The zeros are 3. Okay, okay. Yeah. I hope I've not written the zeros more than 3 in anywhere. Okay, it's fine. Yep. So 650 x in percent. Let me do this well. Will be equal to, yeah, so subtract this. You know, this is Ghana city, this is Ghana city, so you can subtract. 450 minus 650 is what? 100.
100.
Yeah. Please hold on. Hi, good morning. Yeah, my people, let's continue. Yeah, so yeah, it's 100, right? 100 Ghana cities.
200.
200. Okay. Okay. So, yep. So we're gonna have 650 x percent equals 200 Ghana cities. So you divide by, yeah, we're looking for x, so you divide by what? 650, isn't it? Have you seen this coming out? We are even looking for x, not x, what do we call it? Percent. So this is what we're going to do. We'll divide by percent too. Please, are you listening? Mm, Please hold on. Yeah. Let me see this shift. Mm, No, no. Let's divide by 650. Yeah. So 650 cancels out 650. Yeah, so it cancels out. Here to divide by what? 650. Ghana cedis, sorry. Right? So we have an x in percent. Okay, to be equal to Ghana cedis cancels out. 200 over 650 is what? 200 over 650. 0 0.3.
Should we run it or should just?
Yeah, let's run it. So let's make it 0.32. Yeah, 0.32. I'm coming. Let me. Yeah, no, 3-1. Sorry. Let me confirm something. Reducing the size. Okay. I want to verify something. I'm coming.
Was supposed to use it.
The first one, 187.5. When we use that, we get 25% added.
What did you use?
You use 450. Say,
Yes.
please, can I say something?
Yes, you can come in.
Say, please, when we use the
Mm-hmm.
187.5 instead of the 450, we'll get 25%.
You said when we use 400. Oh, okay. When we use I mean the calculation, the questions calculation.
Yes.
Yeah. My problem is not about the final answer we are getting on. It's correct, but I'm observing something here. Okay. I was hoping the percent appears here. This one, it makes sense, okay? But I was hoping the percent appears here instead. And that's what I'm observing. But I mean, it makes sense. X is the depreciation rate and it's in percent. So X you see, is here. The whole thing is X in percent. Yeah, it's what you're looking for. Okay. And what is that? X in percent is what you're looking for, isn't it? And what is that? When we calculate it, you see that X in percent, the value is what? 0.31. Okay, it's percent. Oh. Do you understand that? Huh? But I was hoping it appears here. Maybe later I'll have a look at that. I was hoping it appears here. It's not even about the steps or whatever we've done. Everything is great. Yeah. I'll have a look at that. But I mean, the final solution is right. That's if you are analyzing it, how I'm analyzing it. Okay. Yeah, so that is it. Can we move on, guys? Can we move on? So there are questions they can tell you the value then, the value now, then they ask you to investigate for the depreciation rate. There are questions, there are also questions, listen, you can also get a question where they will tell you the value now, the depreciation rate, and we want you to find the original value, the value then. You can use the same approach. Just say that, oh, original value is equal to 100%. But now that you don't know the original value, that area, you just write original value or dedicate it with the variable. Then you equate it to 100%. The new value there you'll be given. So you can factor it there. Then it's equal to 100 minus X. Guys, do you understand? Please, are you following?
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, I'll speed you up a bit because I have a meeting to join in person. Okay, so now that you know, if you're okay with that, you can close your mind to what I'm coming to do because what I'm come to do was generated from this concept. Okay. Now that you know, we are come to learn formulas. So the formula, I'll teach you a formula for how to find original value, new value, and depreciation rate, or in your at your level, we call that depreciation. If you see depreciation, it's the same as depreciation rate. Okay. So let's see. So yeah, the formulas. The first formula I'm going to give you is when you've been asked to find new value will be equal to know the depreciation rate, okay, and subtract it from 100. Please, are you listening to me? Know the depreciation rate will be so and so in percent. So subtract it from 100%. There's going to be 100 minus X all percent, isn't it?
Okay.
But that percent, if you want to solve, you divide by 100. So let's divide by 100. I'm just putting everything in one. So it should be 100 minus X all over 100 times what? Original value. Okay? So there's another formula. Please pay attention. There's another formula. Now, the next formula is this one. I'll write it for you because I don't have time today. But in our next lecture, I'll show you how to go about that. But the thing is times original value. The thing is, you have to do change of subject as in make original value the subject. Because there will be questions that will ask you to find the original value when we've given you the new value and the depreciation rate. So original value will be equal to what? I'll just copy it to you, but in our next lecture, we'll do it and you see that it will come out by itself. So it's 100 all over 100 minus what? X. Because of my time. Okay? Times new value. But I've told you guys, if you are serious students, after this lecture, you not go home. You prove it before you go. How did we get this formula? What did I say? How would you get this formula? Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Just so you know. Where is this formula coming from? It's coming from here. Okay, this one. New value equals 100 minus X all over 100 times original. It's coming from here. Make original value the subject and you get this formula. Do you understand? Now, the next formula I'm coming to teach you is when they've given you everything, original value, new value, and they want you to find the depreciation rate. In your books, they say depreciation, but it's the same thing. Which one is the depreciation rate? X. I would mean. What would you do? Make X the subject in any of the equation, but since this is the mother equation, the first one, you can make X the subject there. When you make X the subject there, you arrive at how do I even put it? You notice that what you get, okay, will be the reduction in value. When I say reduction in value, I'm trying to say that how would you know the reduction in value, like the reduced value? How would you know? If I tell you the original price and I tell you the new price, listen to what I'm saying well. If I tell you, guys, listen attentively. In my wallet, it was 500 Ghana cedis. When I came back, the amount in my wallet now is 300 Ghana cedis. Because these questions where they will give you the original value, how much it was in then, how much is in now. And they have asked you to investigate for the depreciation rate. And I said, when you make X the subject here, you will land at a certain formula, okay? And that what the formula explains is reduction in value. What is reduction in value? Reduction in value will be will be what? In my wallet, it was 500. When I came, it's 300 Ghana cedis. What is the reduction in value? And how did you get that? What is the reduction in value?
200 Ghana cedis.
200. How did you get that?
You subtract the new price from the original price.
No, I'm coming. If you are saying we should sort new, oh wait, he said new price. Oh yeah, from the original price. That was a good, grammar. Yeah, so that's going to be what 500 minus 300, right? So don't say that. Say the formulas, the first two formulas you've written, there is no expression like reduction in value. So how can you tell me that after making as a subject, I will meet the word reduction in value? Oh no, you will not actually meet this, but what you meet will mean the same thing. What do you think you are likely to meet? Per what you see here, what do you think you are likely to meet? After making X the subject, what do you think you are likely to meet? Which means reduction in value. So after making X the subject, you are likely to meet what? Original value minus what? New value, isn't it? I'm like, when you make X the subject, you are likely to meet original value minus what? New value, right? It was 500 cedis in a wallet. When I came, it's 300 cedis now. That's a new value. So 500 minus 300 is 200, and 200 will represent the reduction in value, right? But you don't see reduction in the first two formulas, right? Reduction in value. You don't see it in the first two formulas. And if you're wondering where it will appear from, I'm saying that when you make as a subject, you are likely to meet what? Original value minus new value, standing for the top. And that's what I'm saying is reduction in value. Okay. Yeah, but that's not the formula. That's not just the formula. Reduction in value all over what? Original value times 100 times 100. Do you know why it's times 100? Because it's a rate, depreciation. X is in percent. So times 100. When you want to convert a value into percent, you multiply by 100. Yeah, so these are the three formulas I want you to know. So every formula you can use that. You see students imbibing this. By an exam, when you forget, then you think your life has come to an end. But it's important to know that this formula was generated from this concept, what I've marked in ink, red ink. That's what the first formula was gotten from. Then the others were gotten as a result of what? Change of subject. Do you have any question, please? So to get a second formula, make original value the subject in the first formula. Okay? To get a third formula, make X the subject in the first or any of the first two formula, make X the subject. And you get the depreciation rate. Guys, any question? Any question? In the absence of questions, subscribe to the channel. And then, you tap on the bell icon so that when there is an upload, you are notified.